former ANC NEC member and MP member Dikeledi Magatsi, has passed away. She was 75. She also served as deputy minister in two portfolios.
South Africa's liberation movement is mourning the loss of one of its seasoned cadres, a woman whose political journey stretched from the underground struggle through the democratic transition and into the demanding realities of governance in a young democracy. Dikeledi Magatsi, a former deputy minister, long-serving ANC leader and former Limpopo MEC, has passed away at the age of 75, bringing to a close a life marked by service, discipline, and steadfast dedication to the movement she served for decades. The African National Congress confirmed her death on Sunday morning, December 28, 2025. In a statement, ANC national spokesperson Malenji Bino said the organization was deeply saddened by the passing of Comrade Dikeledi Magatsi, describing her as a committed leader and seasoned cadre whose contributions to both the ANC and the democratic state were far-reaching. Magatsi's political path was not defined by sudden prominence, but by consistent, often unheralded work across different levels of government and mass democratic formations. She was part of a generation of leaders shaped by activism long before holding public office, grounded in structures that sustained resistance during apartheid and later helped mold governance after 1994. Bino noted that Magatsi carried a strong ethic of public service and revolutionary commitment into every role entrusted to her, serving with dedication and discipline across numerous portfolios, reflecting the confidence the movement placed in her over many years in Limpopo. She was a well-known figure in provincial government, having served as MEC for Public Works from 1994 to 1998, a formative period when provinces were still finding their footing while confronting the massive challenge of rebuilding infrastructure after years of neglect. She later returned to the executive as MEC for Agriculture between 2004 and 2009, during a crucial phase characterized by land reform debates, rural development pressures, and food security concerns. Her work in Limpopo continued when she was appointed MEC for Safety and Security from 2009 to 2010, placing her at the center of crime prevention and community safety amid growing public anxiety over violent crime. Earlier, she had also held the position of MEC for Health, adding to a record that demonstrated both adaptability and endurance in public service. At national level, Magatsi was elected to the National Assembly, where she later chaired the Portfolio Committee on Transport. In Parliament, she earned a reputation as a disciplined and methodical committee chair, firm in approach while overseeing a sector that is politically sensitive and economically crucial. This work paved the way for her eventual appointment to the executive. In May 2019, she became Deputy Minister of Transport, a role she held until August 2021, before moving to the Department of Water and Sanitation, where she served as Deputy Minister from August 2021 until March 2023. In both positions, she worked largely outside the public spotlight, concentrating on oversight, stakeholder engagement, and implementation, the less visible yet essential aspects of governance. Beyond her formal government roles, Magatsi's influence within the ANC was substantial. She served on the party's National Executive Committee for 15 years, from 2007 to 2022, contributing to organizational development, political education, and leadership growth, particularly within structures focused on women and workers. The ANC said her political foundations were deeply rooted in mass democratic formations, noting her involvement in the Federation of Transvaal Women, the United Democratic Front, and the National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union, NEHO. She was also active in the ANC Women's League and participated in the establishment of the Congress of Traditional Leadership of South Africa, CONTRALISA, which aimed to link traditional leadership with democratic governance. Colleagues often described her as disciplined rather than flamboyant, principled rather than populist, part of a generation that viewed politics as a responsibility rather than a performance, shaped by collective struggle and organizational loyalty instead of personal ambition. In its statement, the ANC extended condolences to Magatsi's family, including her children and grandchildren, as well as to comrades, friends, and all those whose lives were influenced by her decades of service. The party urged its members and structures to support the Magatsi family during what it called a difficult time. We call on all members and ANC structures to offer the Magadzi family the necessary support and to keep them in their thoughts and prayers, Bino said, adding that details of memorial services and funeral arrangements would be announced in due course. Magadzi's death comes as the ANC confronts questions of renewal, leadership continuity, and the legacy of those who guided the movement from liberation into government. For many within the party, her passing is a reminder of a generation whose political identities were forged in collective struggle and sustained through years of institutional responsibility. Her career illustrates the complex journey of post-apartheid governance, moving between provincial and national responsibilities, between political oversight and administrative duty, and between activism and statecraft. Though she was not always in the headlines, her influence is evident across multiple sectors of government and within the internal machinery of the ANC. As South Africa reflects on her passing, Dikeledi Magadzi is remembered not only for the offices she held, but for the steadiness and commitment with which she served, standing as an example of endurance, discipline, and long-term service in an era increasingly marked by volatility and spectacle.